Yes, we are live. Good morning, good morning, good morning, South Florida. Hello, world. It's Robert Henderson Jr., certified financial planner, certified tax coach, live in the beautiful studios of the Henderson Financial Group. Joining me live here is my partner, my brother from another mother, the one and only James T. Hot 105. How you doing, James?
Man, Rob, I told a few people yesterday and every day, I said, Rob, it can't get any better than this until midnight. At midnight, at midnight, it gets better because it's now Sunday and it's a
Another
better
day.
day. It's another day. So, Rob, I'm having a great day today. As a matter of fact, Rob, such a great day. Been up studying and talking with friends everywhere. Got to give a shout out to people who watch us in Clewiston, Florida. I was out,
Okay.
yeah, after work yesterday, I had to run out to Clewiston for a family situation. And hey, man, love to our family. And they said, oh, we see you. We see. I said, oh, yeah, okay. All right. Yeah. Hey, well, tell that guy I wanna understand about that LLC and setting up for my son to get the house and da da da. I said, whoa, 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 whoa. What you need to do is text me your questions. So we want to give a shout out to my family, friends, and family. Rob, there were even some people that came up to me and said, "James T, I took a picture when I was just a teenager." I said, "And I was a teenager too, right?"
Oh man.
So
Wow.
having a great weekend, man. And for everybody who's watching us, we know that you've heard about the floods and all of that and the water. Don't think it's everywhere. Okay, it's just that. Rob, are you all right where you were at your home?
Hey, I live in a no flood zone. In my neighborhood, man, there was no water, no flood, no nothing, man. Where I live is just a no flood zone. It don't require flood insurance, man. So yeah, I know I'm getting a lot of calls too. I think they think the whole state of Florida
Yes,
is flooded and
it's
underwater. People
underwater.
calling me
Yeah,
from all over, many calling me from New York, calling me from Minnesota, Texas. People saying, Rob, are y'all okay? I'm like, yeah.
yeah. I got texts from California saying, James, I knew you used to I thought you lived in Fort Lauderdale. I said, I left Fort Lauderdale 20 years ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not in Fort Lauderdale anymore. But nevertheless, it's a wonderful day, Mr. Henderson. I've been up early doing my study this morning. So I know that there's something on your mind today. So as we
Yes.
as we get into our understanding money for the Henderson Financial Group, and we want people to check in too, because I've told some new viewers and listeners to check in this morning. Shouts out to everybody who's going to be checking in with us and enjoying the day. We're always going to be giving out information that we certainly hope will be a blessing to you, so that you can be a blessing to others. And I'll sometime during the program, Rob, I don't know when you want to do it, but I had a special guest on my show yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Damon John. He
Oh
stopped
yeah.
by. Yeah,
Fubu, Fubu.
from the Shark. Oh, bigger than that. From the Shark Tank, Fubu.
We got to
Oh,
get him on.
yeah. Oh, we're gonna get him on. He promised. He promised me that he would come on our podcast. So hope, and I'm not gonna wait until next year. As a matter of fact, I got the numbers, so I'm calling next week to try to see if we can get him on perhaps next weekend or whenever he's
Oh
available.
man,
He's living in
that'll be.
Florida now, so he said he has a home here in Florida. So say, hey Rob, maybe I'll make him have him do, send a car over and have him come into the studio and sit with you. And hey, I'll be live from my studio here in the house, which is just my office. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he'll be hanging out with you there in the studio.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man. That'd be cool. I tell you, uh, despite what you may hear about Florida, about the politics and the elections and things that are going on in Florida and the flood, there's a lot of people constantly still moving to Florida. They really are. When you say Damian John, I mean, he's in Florida. A lot of people are moving to Florida. A lot of financial well-off people, hedge funds, and really they're moving to Florida for a whole lot of reasons, especially for estate tax
Tax.
purposes. Yeah.
Hey, they know, Rob, they know. And they know that when a hurricane comes, it's not all of Florida. When a storm comes, it's not all of Florida. Usually it's a section, an area, and we do really want to say that there are some people that really got hit really bad, you know, living. And Rob, I think that's where information is so important, you know,
Yes,
because a lot of
yes.
people will go and they won't do research. You know, I saw something on social media recently where my wife was showing me where somebody bought a house, right? Or got it in an auction, but they didn't know where the property lines were. So the person that owned the lot next to the house put up a fence, and the fence went through the pool and separated the garage
Wow.
up in Orlando. It was a newscast. Yeah,
Wow.
Rob.
Wow.
So I'm saying, wait. So you went and even though you may have gotten it at the auction, uh, you didn't do. Nobody told you that hey, someone had built the house on someone else's property.
That happens all the time, you know.
Hey, Rob, that's why
Survey.
you that's
You need a
why you
survey.
that's why you get what, Rob, before you buy that house? Who do you
Title
go?
insurance.
Title insurance.
Get a survey. Yeah, yeah. It's very important. Very important. You get title insurance and you get a survey, especially if you're talking about building, because you need to know what really legally is yours. And a lot of times people don't do it, and it just having that, you know, title insurance. Forget all that quit claim deed. You know, you want to have a title insurance. You want to make sure that the title is there's no liens and encumbrances that happened years ago, you know, 30, 50 years ago that will cause you problems. And when you want to build, you can't. You have to do soil tests. A lot of things that's involved when you buy land. It really, really is, you know. So I want to say good morning, Brenda Brown. Good
Oh,
morning,
they're
Joanne
here.
Witherspoon. And hey, Joanne Witherspoon. Hey, good morning, Miss Anna Dupree, Delawrence Moore, LJ. There you go, brother, and my daughter-in-law. Hey, Shay, what's happening? Hey there. Listen, later on, I got to speak. I'm invited to speak, James, today for the Black Realtors Association.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, they asked me to speak, so I'm going to leave the office around noontime. I think I go on, but it started I think at 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock today at the Miramar Civic Center there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'll probably get there around 11, going at 12, and we'll talk. And that's good, you know, because anytime I can get a chance to educate or inspire or enlighten people, man, that's what I'm all about. What's up, P? What's up, Victor? What's up, Joe Witherspoon? How y'all doing? Happy Saturday. You know, James, I'm not involved with social media, and I don't have a Instagram. You know, I personally don't have a personal Facebook. I mean, we have Facebook. I actually set this up for the company. I don't have you know, any of that. I'm so busy, man, and I have to really dedicate a lot of time to, believe it or not, reading and studying. And it's not that I have to. I like to, because it's like part of my air. It's who I am. Just knowledge and growing. And every time I learn something, I say, "Oh my God, you didn't know that?" And I just found it out, and I feel like, man, I feel like I'm behind. Every time I learn something it didn't come out new, it's been here for 50 years or 100 years, I feel like, man, what is that? I mean, I thought I was doing the best I could, but now I got to it. So it's always more where that came from. And I feel like that. You know, I just ordered 6 more books. Can you believe that?
With all those books that he has in the background, yeah,
In the bathroom. And a matter of fact, Tavares ordered them, we ordered them, and then Antonio, and then we'll start ordering, we'll start, you know, sharing, and we'll have conversations about them. But it's always things to know. We've dedicated our life to learning, you know. And one thing, the social media, what's in the air, what's all over, is building generational wealth. So I want to take some time and talk about building, what it really is, building generational wealth. Have you heard people saying that, James?
Yeah. Oh,
building generational wealth.
Leaving a legacy.
Yeah, leaving a legacy, you know, building generational wealth. And I want to dissect that and talk about that. Then I want to go into today tax-free retirement, and then talk about wills and trusts. Because when you build, if you're trying to build generational wealth, and then you want to talk about retiring, and it's different ways to retire, because a lot of people have been, I would say, Jedi mind has been a Trojan horse about this retirement. A lot of people still today think that when they retire, they don't have to pay any taxes because they retired. Mm-hmm. And they waited to the age 59 and a half, and they're 62 years old, and they feel, you know, they get their pension or they get Social Security, there's no more income taxes from that, you know. And that's not true, you know. Uh, and then I want to talk to them about tax-free retirement. Also, I want to talk to them about wills and I want to talk to them about wills and trust. I don't know why Antonio is just texting me here.
Well, while you're doing that, one. Well, I'll wait for you. I'll wait for you to finish on that.
Sorry about that. Hey,
No
he
problem.
just told me. Hey, Jay, he just told me he just found a piece of property. I guess he just couldn't wait. Jay, where you and I was where you and I was looking.
Rob, stop. Don't go. No, leave that at all.
This guy was so excited. He knows I'm on the air. When he found a piece of property. That deal, he don't care if I'm
Rob,
on the air.
Hey, thank you, Antonio. Thank you. Rob, don't stop success. It's rolling. But Rob, when you talk about generational wealth, most in our community, one of the things that people want to do is, and this is the first thing mom said, dad said, grandma said, I'm leaving y'all this house. Help us out with that. Generational wealth, building generational wealth. I'm leaving.
Yes.
I'm leaving the house to you. I'm
gonna get to that. Miss Redhead is in Aruba. Oh my goodness! Greetings, Miss Redhead, Mr. Redhead from Aruba.
Ah, they're vacationing, huh?
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about this buzzword we hear: creating generational wealth. Now, when you create generational wealth, what it really means? Let me tell you what it really means. It means like I, Robert Henderson, have built enough wealth. James T. have built enough wealth. Our goal is to, when we go to heaven, then our children really don't have to work because there's enough wealth, for they don't have to work to provide for them for a whole generation. That's a generational wealth. But generations of wealth, that means that their children also don't have to work because there's enough money. Well, they don't have to work either because there's flow, there's cash flow, there's assets that's going to. That's generational wealth. Generational wealth is, I was just reading how the top 10 hedge funds, owners of hedge funds, like this one guy is worth 35 with a B billion dollars. He lives in Florida too. He just moved from Chicago to Florida. This guy here, I think the least amount of wealth for one of the hedge funds top 10 is 13 billion. So that's what you call generational wealth. Generational wealth is like what they really should have taught us. We should have learned this. How you doing, Brenda Moore? We really should have had this whole principle and this ideology growing up. But instead, they put the carrot in front of most of us and said, get rich, become a millionaire. That's like the turtle. No, that's like the rabbit in the old Aesop fable, The Tortoise and the Hare. We all know the turtle won. The turtle represents wealth. The rabbit represents rich, because think about it. They say 90% of people who win the lottery within 6 or 7 years, they're broke. They was rich. An entertainer or athlete at one time was rich, but now he's broke. A boxer who was rich, but now he's broke. Does he have enough money to after he lived his life, his children's children will be able to live off what he has or she has accomplished? That's what we call generational wealth. Now let's back this up. So let's say you work in 9 to 5 and you're a correctional officer and you put in your 25, 30 years and you get your pension and you're okay. And you go get your car and you get your house and you travel and you go to all the places people say you should go to, Dubai and all this kind of stuff. And then, and you go to heaven. That's not creating generational wealth. Generational wealth is created when you yourself have the mindset to say, okay, I can't keep work. I don't want to keep working for dollars, putting my hours in, physically working. I want to work, but I want to take my money and put it somewhere where it can work for me. And then I don't have to work. And then when I go to heaven, it also works for my children. And then when they go to heaven, it's still working for the children's children. Now, you can accomplish that goal by having a great business. And I'll give you an example. Hilton Hotels. Man gone. Conrad Hilton dead. His daughter, the little Paris Hilton, she just had a child. That's generational wealth. They don't really have to work because Hilton hotels, people are still renting Hilton hotels. Same thing with Marriott. Any engine that continues to produce income like a wealth machine, that's what we all should have been thinking about rather than trying to become a millionaire, scratch off, hit the lottery. Thinking about something that can replace us as humans and gives us income. You can do that with real estate. Now, I'm not talking about flipping houses, flipping. You buy something, you fix it up, you sell it, it's gone. You got the money. Now what are you going to do? You got to do it again. That's not generational wealth. Matter of fact, anybody, don't be fooled when they say, hey, learn how to flip houses. You're paying a lot of taxes because it's short-term capital gain. And it's 100% taxable. It's not 15% taxable on your gain, 20%. It's 100%. It's like you did more overtime. You know, if you do more overtime, you're just going to pay more taxes.
What
taxes, right? So that's not a strategy, flipping houses. Buying property, keeping it, renting it out, getting that cash flow, that's creating generational wealth. It's creating wealth. And the more you have, if you have 10 doors, 20 doors, or 100 people paying you $1,000 a month, that's $100,000 a month. Long as your family keep it up, when you go to heaven, that's still going to be producing for you. Or if you have a business, or if you invented something, or if you have royalties, like a song, a music, or whatever, Michael Jackson, generational wealth. You have the main thing that I want you all to understand is creating something. You can really do it with life insurance, but a lot of people are unhealthy. They're just eating themselves crazy. You eat, now you can't get insured. That is the easiest way to create generational wealth, having a fat life insurance policy. You can spend your money while you're alive, but then you know that, when you die, $500, $1 million, $10 million policy is going to take care. And then you don't name the individuals, the kids as beneficiaries. You put it in what they call an ILIT trust. That's irrevocable living trust. Why irrevocable? Because now when you die, the money goes into a trust. The kids don't get it. So the young kid can go out and buy all these cars and mismanage the money. It's in a trust. And it stays in there in perpetuity, meaning forever. And it gives the kids a drip, an allowance, so to speak. And they could do that because the growth and income that it's going to earn for years give them enough to live. And it keeps going from that generation to that generation. That's how you build generational wealth. Questions?
Rob, Linda just came into me. Rob, I hear him saying,
Linda. Linda
just came into me. No, but I hear what you're saying, and I think my situation is this, Rob. I really would love to have, for my children's children, because hey, my children, Rob, we taking care of our children right now. Rob, they're not worried about it. Now think about it. And see, that's scriptural too. It says, that a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children, not for his children, his children's children. So because, hey, our kids not going to let us be here and they not live the way they want to live because they just believe that, hey, the dad got it, mom got it, whatever. But here's something that I think when we are going to have generational wealth that we should do. And I'm glad you brought up the comment about ILIT, because I don't want my children nor my children's children to not work. I'm not trying to put them in a situation where they can't grow. I would love for them to have basic needs met so that they can live what they love, that they can go out and seek, quote unquote, to create, to build, to promote, to build upon. Why should it be that all they have to do is eat, sleep, and be merry? No, God has gifted us, hopefully, with a purpose that we can realize and a gift that we have. So why can't we even make it greater? So I would hope that when we want to do generational wealth, it's not so that they don't have to work. It's so that they can go out, Rob, and they can say, well, I don't have to beg for a job, but I can also hey, get wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. If it takes going to school, I can first of all seek within myself. What is it? What is it? What's my purpose? What's my gift? What would I love to do? Study, just like you said. Hey, you got you here. You are running a business, da 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 da, working for or having people and helping other people make money, and you're still buying books. You're buying books because of the
Reading them,
fact.
reading too,
Right,
and
right,
reading.
right, and read. Yeah, not just buying books to have it on the back of the shelf there, but to get more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, so that you can. And here's where we miss it, Rob. Walk up to a person and ask them, "What's your vision?" I'm not talking about whether it's 2020. No, 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 no. Has nothing to do with your eyes. What's your vision? What's your dream? You know, and most people don't take time to think about that, because if you think about that, you'll find that there's something that you can't see that's going to take faith or fear. And most of the time, Rob, it's fear. It's the fear of failure.
Yes.
And people don't realize that. I don't care anyone who's accomplished anything in life. And most of the people don't call it failure. It's like who they said, who was it that did the light? And they said that he failed 3,000 or 13,000. And said, no, 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 no. He didn't fail those number of times. If it was 3 or 13 or whatever it was, those were the steps that it took to quote unquote create light. You know, so oftentimes the mistakes that we make and all these things are good for who we now are, because it took that to become. You know, you share and I share all the time some of the things that we've gone through to bring us to where we are today. And if everyone would take a real assessment of themselves, they would say the same thing. But then the thing is, we don't want to just get here and say, look at me. No, we want to get here and say, what more can I do? How can I grow? How can I be better? How can I do better? So I think the one thing that we want to realize is that, you know, we've got to conquer those limitations that's within ourselves. And so often we say, because when people say they want to retire, what are you going to do when you retire? Nothing. Really? Do you know what that's going to cost you? Doing nothing? Rob, do you ever want to retire and do nothing?
No, I can't even imagine that. I cannot even imagine retiring and doing nothing. I mean,
So,
I mean,
so
if
Rob,
I'm retiring and doing nothing, I might as well not be on the planet.
so Rob, how do we create the generational wealth and encourage our children and our children's children to build upon that we have left for them? That would be, oh man, I think that would be a great key to pass
Yes.
on.
Yes. You know, for a lot of wealthy people, they actually have coaching for their children, because when you create generational wealth, now, when I say generational wealth, like I said, when you want to be able to leave something for your kids, like you said, but you have to have the kids have to have, when you leave something for them, they have to have the right mindset, you know, the right understanding, because there are a lot of kids, you know, that just want the money and leave. They want to go. They don't want to create anything. They want to just have a good time. They don't want it to make it last and have it go into in perpetuity. Well, the whole reasoning, the whole purpose of creating generational wealth is to give your loved ones access to capital, because we know that the field is not level.
That's the key.
And then when you go to banks and go to lending institutions, they don't treat everybody the same. So if you have an entity, if you have a trust, if you have a pot, assets where your loved ones can leverage it and tap into it to be able to help them to finish college, to help them when they need a loan to buy a house. It's not like you're giving it to them. When you create like this family bank kind of leverage, is when you actually have access to capital, but you don't actually spend the capital. You use it as a loan, and you can borrow from the family treasure, so to speak. And then you pay the family the loan back to the family treasures, and it continues to keep compounding and compounding and compounding. And that's the whole principle of not just to leave your children with a whole wall of money where they don't have to work and they could just be lazy bums. I mean, you know, Warren Buffett when you hear Warren Buffett and you hear Bill Gates and a lot of them saying that they're going to leave their money to charity, they're not giving their kids anything directly, what they're really saying is, most people don't know, they put their money inside of a foundation, and that's a private foundation. You think of United Way or something like that, a nonprofit. When someone wealthy put their money and they create their own United Way, their own foundation, you can do that private. Then you put money there, you get a tax deduction, just like you gave money to the church. It's a 501, just like you gave money to United Way, but it's your personal private one. And you put money there, you get a tax deduction. That's pretty good. That money can grow. You can buy real estate. You can invest in the stock market if you want to. You can buy annuities with it, but it'll be tax free. If it continues to pile up and pile up, when your loved ones need money, they can actually get a loan from that entity. They can tap that. So Warren Buffett says he's not giving money to his children, or Bill Gates just leaving it for them to squander. They're actually creating private foundations. Now, in that private foundation, it has to have a board of directors. Their children is part of the board of directors. So they didn't give it to them directly. Their children have a job, so to speak, to manage this fund and to be a director, maybe, have a job. They can get a salary, but they're supposed to go out and do fundraising, not fundraising, but don't give donations and help other people, So don't be misled when they say they're not leaving their children anything. They're not leaving their children anything directly. Plus, they'll have to pay taxes on it, state taxes. So to get around that, you put your money inside of a private foundation, and then you don't have to pay state taxes, and your family still keeps it inside of the trust, so to speak, or the foundation. There's a lot of strategy that's with that.
But that's why, Rob, before we move on to the next, that's why we must, when we're thinking about these things and doing these things, you need counsel.
Yes,
you need someone to help you to navigate so that you'll know, do you need an attorney? Of course, a financial planner. That's what, and we're saying that the Henderson Financial Group is a great place to go, so that as you come up with this vision or this dream or this idea, hey, the Henderson Financial Group can help you, to administer it, and to find other people that will help you to administer.
Yes, the thing that I like about what we do, James, at the Henderson Financial Group, we're in it with you. I mean, we roll up our sleeves with you. We're some certified financial planner, certified tax coach. I mean, and everything you do has tax ramifications to it. So you always want to look at the tax part of it. Whatever you're doing, it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. So whatever moves you make, you got to look and say, how is this going to be taxable, or can we do this in a tax-free way? And oftentimes you can. It's just making a chess move. Most people don't know how to do that. The problem that I find that so many people, I don't know if it's ego or pride or just ignorance, trying to do things on their own when you don't know anything about it. James, if I go outside there and my car won't start, do you actually think I'm going to lift that hood up and start moving stuff and pulling stuff apart? I don't know. I can't name any part. If I lift that hood up, I don't know nothing about that car. I really don't. But I know who to call. You understand? But some people always want to do it yourself. When you do it yourself, man, you're missing out. When I just said, listen, I just ordered 6 more books. You think I'm gonna be out there under the hood when I'm supposed to be reading, getting some knowledge that's gonna help me further? You only have so much time in a day. How do you spend your time is more important. Show me somebody who's broke and poor. I'd say somebody who's wasting time. Show me somebody who's broke and poor. I'll show you somebody who wastes a lot of time. Wastes a lot of time.
Rob, no, lift up the hood and then hit Google. Car won't start.
YouTube. I'm not doing that, James. I'm not doing that. That whole hour, I could be learning more Spanish. Hablo español. I wanted to talk about this because we hear on the internet, they keep having these people come up saying generational wealth. That's you got to think about how to build that. And if you look at the end game and then roll back, how do you get that? Generational wealth, and most people talking about generational wealth, most people don't understand how to not generational wealth, or how to create first generational wealth, right now wealth, because most people spend all their money on things. Most people work and spend all their money and work again and spend all their money and work again and spend all their money and wait till they get a paycheck and say, have to say, wait till I get paid in order for me to take this vacation. They spend all their money. And I'm reminded, you know, here's a man that was making $50,000 a year. And he said, oh my God, if I could make $60,000 a year, you know, I could live, I have some room to breathe. All of a sudden, his wish came true. He's talked to his subconscious mind. His subconscious mind had it where situations change. He got a new boss and they gave him a $10,000 raise. And there's a $10,000 more. But guess what happened? When he got that $10,000 raise, he went and got a better car. Matter of fact, he went and started wearing better clothes. He went and started eating out a little more. You know what I mean? Next thing I know, he came with that shiny jewelry on. Now, guess what his standard of living is? He needs $60,000 just to live on. That's his break even right now. And now he says, oh my God, if I had $100,000 a year, then I could really save some money. I could really do some things. And guess what happened? His genie helped him again. His subconscious mind, what he was starting thinking of, now he got a job making $100,000 a year. Guess what happened now? $100,000 a year, he moved into a better neighborhood. He really wear fancy clothes now. He even got an extra girlfriend. Now, y'all, I'm laughing, but this is studies. Let me tell you something. People may lie. Men may lie, women may lie, but numbers don't lie. There are statistical studies to what I just said. It's true. The eye in the sky, they know how you act. They know what you're going to do. They actually know. There's data. You think Google, man, they know exactly what you're going to do. You got to raise. You're not getting ready to go and save that and put that money so it can make money for you. You're going to go and buy you a Mercedes-Benz and you a preschool teacher. You want to drive up at the preschool with that Mercedes-Benz. You teaching the little kid. Yes, that's the mindset. That's why on Wednesdays, my daughter Heisen and I, we spent a whole hour talking about understanding mentally the mindset, because you need to. It's a prerequisite that you need to have your mind. What are you trying to do? It's all in the. Everything starts in the mind. Everything starts with a thought. You know, who are you? What are you trying to do? Who you're trying to impress? What is your goal? What is a goal? Do you have a goal? What do you want out of life? Some people just want people to look at them, just see me. Look at this. Look at all the shiny stuff I got. If that's your goal, then it's going to be pretty hard for you to really create wealth, because you wearing it and you just showing out. And then a lot of times by the time you get a certain age, you're tired. You say, man, I missed the boat. Now I wish I would have learned. But let me tell you something. Anytime you hear some wisdom and some understanding, that's a sign to tell you it's not too late, because you don't know how long you're going to live. You may live to 100 years old and you 70 years old. Let me tell you something. It's still time. It's still time. Colonel Sanders didn't start Kentucky Fried Chicken. They were 60 years old. Isn't that something? It's a whole lot of people that really don't get wealthy until they're over 60 years old, because they have learned from a lot of mistakes. They know what not to do. They don't go for the shiny object. So just because you're 60, 70 years old, you ain't dead yet. That means that there's something for you to do. I want you to think about what I just said. If you ain't dead yet and you still here, you got to ask yourself, why are you still here? It must be something you still need to do.
Okay.
Wait. Yeah,
So
right?
Rob, that man who got that 60, what should he have done?
The man at age 60?
Well, no, the person that making 50,
Right.
he got that $10,000 raise. What should he have done?
You know, I just had that conversation earlier this week. A guy said he was going to retire. He got a new boss. The boss came in and gave him $14,000 raise. He said, Rob, I'm not going to retire now. We had a conversation. And then I told him, since he was making it off that money before he got the $14,000 raise, now we're going to take that $14,000 and we're going to put it somewhere where it's going to compound and accumulate, act like he never got it. And we just talked about that last Wednesday. You gotta take it and you gotta use it, because that's a gift. That's a gift. It wasn't time for him to retire. And because he needed more. He was going to sell his house and move to Georgia and buy a property. But now he says he's going to continue to stay here, and he was going to take his Social Security. But now he's going to wait. See, he's going to wait, and he's going to build that 14,000. He's going to invest that, and we putting it in a place where it's tax free, so to speak. All right, and it's going to continue to grow and compound. He'll have access to it, but he's not spending that 14. That's $14,000 new ones every year. That's pretty darn good. So he's listening, but most people wouldn't listen because they don't have good counsel. And James, as you and I know, the ancient writings, the scriptures say, in all you're getting, get understanding and surely get good counsel. You gotta have
multiple counsel.
Yeah, man. James, me and you, we couldn't even function if we didn't have good counsel. Good counsel meaning that you have people where you can talk to look at things in a different perspective, things that you don't know. When you start leaning on your own understanding, that's a fool. Read Proverbs. That's a fool when you try to be your lawyer and the doctor, everything. You want to be the painter, the lawyer, the architect, the lawn man. No. Everybody has a special gift. You want to try to find what you're good at. That's what you want to do. And let the people who are good at what they do what they do, and they come and together we work together. That's what the Henderson Financial Group is.
Rob, what fears do you think people have when they have to make decisions regarding what am I going to do with the property that we own for generational wealth? How am I going to have, and if you have what's the normal thing, the average thing now with kids, 2.5 kids, 3.5 kids, yes. Whatever it is, Yes. So for the children, how should they begin in their mind of envisioning, how do I prepare to have that generational wealth set up?
So give me an example.
For example, school teacher. Boom.
Okay.
All right. Like you said, making X number of dollars. Let's just take the 60,000. And right. Hey, I want to do something for my children. We quote unquote, we own this house,
Right.
Hey, we always had this concept that I wanted to own the house. We own the house. Okay. Now,
when you say own, that means there's no mortgage on it.
There's no mortgage. We got money. We've got money in the walls.
Okay, so that's an asset now. That's an asset.
Yeah, Mr. Henderson.
Right.
Hey, we own the house. We've saved up some money. And you can determine. I don't know what's the average savings for people that make earn that kind of money. But
okay,
we saved up some money here, and right now we want to know how can we, quote unquote, live. Have a good life. Live this good life and leave something for our children's children. What do you say?
Okay, so you got it. So you gave me an example of a lady, a husband,
family,
a family. They don't have any mortgage. They took all their hard-earned money and paid off their mortgage. So now the house is free and clear.
Right.
And they have kids and they want to be able to live some. So first of all, when you have, it's called housing wealth now, and the advanced strategies that are being studied and talked about in financial planning for a lot of the wealthy people, that a lot of the people who are not wealthy should be using these strategies, but you don't know about, is using your house as a financial weapon. And let me tell you something. People want to have a 401k. They wish a lot of money. They want to put as much money into their retirement account. But remember, when you put that money in, when you take it out, it's all taxable. And we don't know what tax is going to be in the future. Okay, that's one. And then people want to have a pension where before they got to bed, they work and they just get guaranteed income. They want to have that. But that house, when you've paid that house off, people feel that they have paid the house off and now they're going to leave it to the children. Well, you blindsided, because the children, when you go to heaven, the children is going to sell the house and get the cash. What you can do now while you're alive is you can use the house. There's a strategy that you can actually pull equity from the house and not have to pay it back. And you can help the kids.
Okay,
and it's
wait,
tax
wait, wait,
free.
wait, right there. Rob, would I earn enough money from that money to now pay back when I pull the equity from the house? Because there will be a monthly payment again. I'll be back doing a
No,
monthly.
no, there won't be a monthly payment. So let's say you got a house and house worth 500,000 that's paid off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the house worth $500,000, you can pull $300,000 from the house tomorrow
Mm-hmm.
and not even qualify. In other words, this strategy that I'm talking about, you don't have to go to a bank.
Well, okay, wait. Yeah, you got to get that.
Yeah.
Say that again, Rob.
You don't have to go to a bank. You don't have to have financial statement. You don't have to, they don't look at your income. You just got to say you own the house.
See, that's what I'm saying that we don't know, because the
Of course.
average person would say, when you said what you said about pulling money out, they're gonna say, "Well, no, I don't want to have another monthly payment." You're
That's right.
saying you're saying there is no monthly payment.
There is no monthly payment. Why would I? That's not a strategy to get more into debt like that. No.
Okay.
No, if you got a house, say a house worth 500,000, 400,000, and you want to pull a couple $100,000 out, there's a program where you don't need to have a job. They don't even care about your credit. You don't, and then whatever money you pull from that house, man, think about this. You have paid the house off. You have put all your money to pay that mortgage off. So you don't have a job anymore. You retired. So why would you? That's what they're calling housing wealth. So now you could use that bricks. You could use that brick and mortar the way you want to and still live in your house and sell your house and not have a mortgage payment. You can do that now. It's a way to do that. And a lot of people who don't look like you and I, James, they're doing that. And a lot of other people have this fear. Nobody wants your house. There's
And
a strategy that you can actually pull money. And guess what? When you pull money, it's not even considered a taxable event. And you never have to pay it back. I'm saying until you're dead, rather. Because when you pay it back, the reason why until you're dead, because you're going to leave the house to your children, and then they leave it to their children. So the system is not crazy. It's just for you and your spouse. When you gone and your spouse still in there, he don't have to pay it back. And then when both of y'all gone, then the children had to pay it back. But then again, remember, if you have a house paid off, first of all, both of y'all should try to have life insurance. Now, there's some situations where people say, listen, I'm insurable, but my wife is not insurable. Do you know there is called second to die? They have insurance policies where if one person is healthy, the other person could be whack and not healthy, and you can get insured. Can you believe that?
Yes, Robert, I can believe that.
Yeah. James, and I'm glad you asking me this, and we're going over this
because Rob, but this is what, because I'm sure people, Rob, I didn't know till you told me. 1980 until you told me. How many years is that? 43 years ago. Yeah. So I'm saying people really, because they would assume if I'm pulling money out of my house, I'm getting another monthly payment. But you say there's a strategy where no, that's not the case. And and they're going to say, and you telling me I have access to that money that I pull out? And your answer, Robert, is what?
there is. There is a strategy. There is a strategy. I want you all to understand what I'm saying here. Every problem, there is a solution. And just whatever you're dealing with, don't think that, remember, it's 8 billion people on the planet. So whatever situation that you're dealing with, don't think it's just you. Because you got a cold. You think nobody else have a cold in the world? Somebody died in your family. You think somebody else had nobody died? Everything that you going through, your wife spending all the money. You think that your wife the only one spending all the money? It's a lot of wives spending money. Husbands too. I mean, so therefore, there are systems, this medicine, financial medicine, to help kill that. It really is. But you just don't know about it. You don't know about the antidote. There is a problem, financial problem out there that you have but you don't know about. Let me tell you something. Relationships is everything. A lot of people like, I didn't know. Of course you didn't know. How you gonna know? You don't have a relationship. You got to know somebody, man. Of course you didn't know. So the thing what each and every one of us should be asking ourselves all the time, when you have a financial dilemma and you have a problem, a challenge, first thing sign of wisdom is there's got to be a way out of this.
Hey,
that's the first sign of. As soon as you do that, that's called what you like, James.
Faith. That's go ahead, Robert. But see, what we do is we tighten up.
That's right.
We get afraid.
There's no help. There's no way.
Yeah, but and I don't like using this word. There's two words I sort of don't like using. One is, of course, is stupid, and the other one is ignorant. But there are things that we're ignorant to, and when we deal in fear, or we deal in not knowing, I rather say that, not ignorance, but not knowing. All of a sudden now there's doubt.
Yes, fear and doubt wipe you out.
Right. Then what's next, Rob? Worry. Then you begin to worry.
All that's a sin.
Right.
All that's a sin.
Right. And then through that creates an emotion.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And
you can't
then,
see right. Think
right. And then all of a sudden there's anxiety.
Oh man.
Okay.
See?
So
all of those against universal law.
Right.
That's against the creator.
I need something. I don't know if I need to go to a concert. I need a good time because I got to suppress this. I got to suppress this anxiety and this feeling.
Yes.
But then here's what we're dealing with, and particularly with our young people now, Robert. Then comes depression.
Yes.
Ooh.
And almost everybody young gotta have their therapist.
Yeah. Stop.
Almost everybody young
stop, Rob. Stop.
The therapist is making so much money.
We may all need a therapist, but Rob, but after that suppression and depression, then comes, we want to call it dis-ease, or not at ease, but it is a disease, Rob. And wow, all of a sudden, high blood pressure, decay of the body, I got a pain here. And we don't realize all that started with, I had a situation and I was ignorant. Oh, no, I had lack of knowledge as to how to solve it.
Undeveloped in that area. Like me and Antonio like to say, being undeveloped.
Oh, okay, undeveloped. I'll add that word. Okay, so it's stupid, ignorant, and undeveloped. I don't know. I'm going to add that to my list of words that I don't want to use. I don't want to use, Rob. But there's the other part. There's the other side of that, because for every coin, there's a flip side. You can get understanding. And what is this show called? Understanding money.
Right.
Yeah, you can get understanding. And all of a sudden, when you get understanding, guess what? When you had that doubt, now you're saying, I heard Mr. Henderson say, so I got faith now. I believe that there is an answer to my problem. So, oh my goodness. Now, because belief and fear is the same thing, Robert, because both of them means you got to believe something. You got to believe something you can't see. When you're afraid, when you're afraid, you believing in something you don't see. And when you have faith, you're believing in something you can't see. And I'm telling you, if we can get to that point of creation and coming at ease, we can call the Henderson Financial Group, brother. That might have been a good, what they call those commercials, infomercials. That might have been a good infomercial for the Henderson Financial Group. But folks, I'm saying, Robert and I have a goal. We are always looking for that we don't know and that we can't see. And because when we get that, when something jumps up to it, like Rob had that call earlier. I mean, we have these things happen to us almost every day, right, Rob? Something comes up that we didn't know, we didn't see, and that's what we pray for that. God, what do you have for me today that I cannot ask, think, or imagine? Please send it my way. Send it my way.
You know, that's amazing how, AJ, that's amazing how our beliefs and our imagination really has a profound effect on us. You know, I mean, it really do, you know, and a lot of us can't control it or we don't understand it. And it continues to help, you know, makes us slave. You know, I always say that, you know, if we really think about it, our five senses uh, has really captured us and made us mental slaves.
Mm.
Because especially the one about the feelings, I don't feel like this is the way I feel. And the enemy, the powers that be, really enters you and controls most of us through our feelings, how we feel. I don't feel like it. I feel like this. And we really think it's us. It has tricked us to think that it's really us, but we are really superior to our feelings. You know, the creator made us superior to everything. We're like gods, spiritual gods, but we're having this human experience and we have lowered all our powers to think on a lower level. And we have allowed our five senses who we control to control us. And that thing called how I feel, I don't feel like it. I feel like this. I feel there's a lot of people, a lot of entities. Madison Avenue has really, really gotten very wealthy off tapping and using our feelings to enslave us. And we don't know it because we feel, you know, it's like I feel bad, so let me get a drink. So they, you know, they come out. I mean, almost all the entertainers got alcohol labels. You know, from Michael Jordan to P Diddy to all of them, they got labels in terms of this drink, and people pay $100 or $200 for a bottle of wine or a vodka, and because people want to be with them, and that's tapping your money and enslaving you through that sense called feeling. I feel good. I feel good. That's why people like, Rob, why you don't have a Rolls Royce? Because I ain't letting feelings enslave me. I don't care about a Rolls Royce. Just done. I'll ride your Rolls Royce. It don't do anything to me. I'm sorry. It just don't do anything for me. I'm not attached to that. I am in control of my feelings, you know? But if you're not, then you need some weed because you need to feel good. I don't really need that. I don't really need that. I really like naturalness. I get a high just knowing that I am, you know, in the naturalness, because there's a lot of stuff that we haven't discovered about ourselves, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah. So anyway, you know, generational wealth, as we were talking about, because that's all over the airways, how to create generational wealth. Now, I tell you, you can always shortcut and spend all your personal money if you have a fat life insurance. That's all. Some people like, man, I ain't going to spend this money because I want to take a cruise, but I want to leave something for my grandson, my granddaughter. Let's get a life insurance. You know, that life insurance, one thing is going to happen. It always does exactly what it says it's going to do. If you pay that premium, it's going to do exactly what it's going to guarantee you. If you say it's going to get $1 million policy when you die, it's going to pay $1 million. It's going to pay. And then you can have life insurance policies where you can pay for 5 years and pay no more, and you can live for the next 50, 60 years. It's still going to pay that $1 million. You can structure it how you want to, but that's a guarantee to do what it says it's going to do when the time comes when you go to heaven.
And see, Rob, how many people out there don't have a clue regarding that? See, that's why we kill this. Anybody who has watched these things before, we tell you, asking, seeking, and knocking is so important. It is so important to you living what was promised, an abundant life. Rob, an abundant, who is it? I think Napoleon Hill gives about 13 or 17 things about wealth, right? And the last one is money.
Yes.
the last one, people think that, oh, hey, I need money. No, you need wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So the way you get that, ask, seek, and knock. And then study, you know, find a book, read, you know, find somebody who's lived and poured their life out into. And there's something, it's going to speak to you, Rob, and it's going to speak to where you are. I had a friend call me yesterday morning on my way to work. Love talking to them. Love talking to them. And I began to share. And it was all, and she just kept saying, "Oh, James T, those are nuggets. Those are nuggets." And I want to say, those are just truths. I'm just telling you what I believe to be a truth. Yeah. And if this will help you to get from, to get to, that new place, then when you get there, there's going to be more truths that you'll get, Rob. That's how great life is. And we can find joy in sharing this and in inviting people to come on Saturdays and on Wednesdays when you and Heisey to say, hey, come aboard. And then share some of the truths that you've learned about life as well. We're not the only ones. Trust me. and we definitely don't know it all.
Hey, hey, Jay, I'm gonna share one that happened to me last night, James. I'm gonna share one. I was sleeping. You talk about thought and imagination.
Mhm.
James, I was sleeping last night. It was the middle of the night. It must have been 3 or 4 o'clock, right? And I was sleeping, James, and all of a sudden my eyes was closed, and all of a sudden I seen this object. It was a black figure, like a human, and it had big pink, the bubblegum pink lips, big pink lips, and it was a silhouette like an alien, and it came to kiss me in my mouth, and it came to James. It was so real. It came to kiss me in my mouth, and you know how you back up, James. I backed up, and I felt my whole, you back up, your whole blood rush. You get excited, like you almost about to have a car accident. I rushed and I opened my eyes, and I was in the room, and I seen I scooted back. I actually scooted back in the bed. And I opened my eyes, and I'm like, oh my God, that seems so real. And I looked at Natalie, she was slow asleep. And I'm like, hey, James, I'm like, whoa.
Artificial intelligence, right?
Yeah, James, like an alien came and kissed me on the lip. And I said, Lord have mercy. That seems so real. But James, my whole point in that was a thought. That was an imagination. And I'm gonna tell you what's amazing about it. My blood rushed. It rushed. You know how you all of a sudden you feel like you're in shock?
Yeah, hey,
and here I am in a perfectly
anxiety.
I'm in the bed, and my own thought made my whole body change, my whole temperature, my whole blood pressure change, just on something that wasn't happening, but in my mind. My whole point is our thoughts and our beliefs are amazing. The best thing each and every one of us can do is start watching our thoughts and our beliefs.
Oh, Rob, you just I've been challenging some people that I'm mentoring, and to listen, to go back in the book that I first ever studied, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and I challenged them, and I said he gives a master key. I said, and it took me, I think, to faith. What's the definition of purpose, mastermind, going beyond what you're called to do, going the extra mile, and then faith. And for me to get that, and you just gave that master key. Literally, you just gave that master key. And I'm not going to give it on this podcast, but folks, there's a master key to what Robert just said regarding our thoughts and what it does to us or what it can do for us. Now, believe me, and when you get that power, when that's where the faith comes from, that's where the confidence comes from. That's why, like I tell them, oh man, with what my grandmother taught me in the third grade, I can bet the farm on that I believe to be true, and I could lose the farm, Rob, and come back. Because most people who have accomplished anything, there's been times I can remember a time when I had to go get the gas, when I had to go put gas in the car, Rob, when I had to get the roll of dimes and quarters that was in the drawer to go, hey, but it was just for a period of time because I had invested all my monies in things that were going to create money for me. And I was waiting for a check to come through, but I needed gas that day. So what did I do? Hey, didn't have the cash in my pocket. So wait, let me go over that drawer. Let me get these dimes and quarters so I can fill them. I can pay.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, and this is what you do to get to. Oh, Rob, we were out of time, man. Hey,
Yes.
Rob, I got to do this. Ladies and gentlemen, as we were talking, I'm going to put this up here. I had a special guest to stop by the studio, Damon John. And Robert and I, if you missed the earlier part, we're going to have him on. Beautiful brother. He wrote this book, and it's for the kids. Hey, all that we went through, they should not have to go through about having lack of knowledge about financing and finances. Little Damon learns to earn. Hey, check that out. And we on social media, Google him, but we're gonna have him. We're gonna have him in, Rob, because and what he shared the other day was some of the things that you shared today about. He said, James, I was reading books to my daughter, and telling her about the silver slipper and all of that. She said, hey, no. I wanted to write a book where my daughter could meet a little Damon John and say, hey, come work for me. Yeah. So with that in mind, all of a sudden he's saying, wait, hey, our kids can get together and they can come up with ideas, because any product that you buy, someone created it to sell. So why don't right from a thought. So why can't we create? And there's something, man, right in front of us, that we could do. We could market it, we could sell it, we could promote it, and generate revenue from it. So that hey, that's my story. But I want to say shouts out. Hey man, great show today, man. Great information that you gave in telling people that, hey, there's a solution to your problem. And the Henderson Financial Group is here. They're asking you, call them. Call.
305-825-1444. I'm gonna say it again. Area code 305-825-1444. And you can go to our website too. It's www.hendersonfinancialgroup.com. www.thehendersonfinancialgroup.com. And the number is 305-825-1444. Give us a call. We'll be happy to counsel with you. Everything is confidential. We're fiduciaries. And your situation is like nobody else's. So many people, James, go to other people about their own situation when ain't nobody like you. There's nobody's situation exactly like yours. Now, it could be references, because a lot of us do the same things. But you got to call in good counsel. Stop trying, and you can't have that ego and that pride. Men, women, no. You got to ask. Robert Henderson, people that know me know I will ask so many questions. How and why? How do you do that? And the only reason why I continue to read, because I know that all that I do know, I know nothing. Whatever I do know, it's like a pebble on the beach, sand. And there's a lot of sand, which means there's a lot to know. And I'm aware of that. That's my greatest gift, that I do know that what I do know is just minute. So it keeps me aiming, growing, thirsty, hungry for more knowledge and understanding, so I can do what? Not hog it, not hoard it, but to share it. And that's what I believe I'm here for. And that's what it makes me feel good. People say, when I'm going to retire? There's such a word for me, retire. Like James says, we're going to retire. Like, does fish ever stop fishing?
Swimming?
No, swimming. Yeah.
Right.
We're going to stop. Hey, we're going to stop when the fish stop swimming, when the birds stop flying. That's all they do. You ever see a bird talking about, I'm retired? What you doing, bird? Oh, I'm retired. You just been sitting there. You've been sitting there every day. You ain't gonna fly? Nah, I'm retired. I ain't flying no more.
Man, let's go. You got to go.
Let's get this prayer, James. Get us out here, man, because we
wait. Wait. I'm gonna pull up. We have a family chat. I'm gonna pull up my family. Hey, because my mind is just rolling right now. My brother sent him a message, and he said, join me in praying that we desire to read God's word, to understand God's word, and to live out God's word. And this was from 2 Timothy 2:15. It says, do your best to present yourself to God as one approved, a worker who has no need to be ashamed, rightly handling the word of truth. 2 Timothy 2:15. So, Father God, we ask that you would help us to truly, truly, truly be approved, to be a good worker, and to give of that you have given us, so that others may be blessed, that they may be a blessing to others, and that we can all join in glorifying you. In Jesus' name, amen, amen,
Amen. Let the church say amen. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, wonderful weekend, and please be safe.
God
Much
bless.
love. God
God
bless.
bless.